So what would happen if we bankrupted the entire Premier League? The entire Premier League, all the money gone, bankrupt. Let's find out, shall we? Hello and welcome to the channel. If you're new around here and you've never seen a video of mine before, my name's Tom and I play Football Manager. Hence the really imaginative name, TomFM. Basically, if you really like football, ridiculous situations like the entire Premier League being bankrupted and some pretty incredible bottle jobs, this is the place for you. Click subscribe. So it's been a long time since we've last done an experiment on the channel, an awful long time. I've been really enjoying playing the Lincoln Loco series though, which has been really good fun. If you've not seen that before, basically we've taken over Lincoln United, who are like the non-league side in the city of Lincoln where I'm from. They're in step 8 of the English football pyramid, so really quite far down. The plan is to try and take them to the Champions League. It's going all right for now. We're not in the Champions League, but we are doing okay at the moment. So if you've not seen it yet, I'll put a link in the description for you and up here. Go check it out. So bankrupting the entire Premier League then, it's a different one. Usually in these kind of experiments, I give really obscure leagues from around the world loads and loads of money and see if they can go and win continental competitions. I'm looking at you, Cardiff Met University. That was a pretty good effort you had. Anyway, I thought it'd be fun this time to go to a top division anyway in the Premier League, one of the best divisions and best leagues in the world. Why not take all the money away and see how far things can get messed up? So I can hear you all asking, I can hear you all, how did you do it, Tom? Well, I'll tell you how I did it. So here we are in the Football Manager editor. You can download this for free from Steam on the toolbar on the top part of the screen. You can download it from there. So if you want to have a go at yourself, go and do that. As you can see, we're here in the Premier League and we're going to try and bankrupt every single club. And this is how I did it. So we take Man City, for example. Let's open them up and let's go down to their finances into general. They've got £154 million in the bank. Actually, no, you don't have that much money. You've got minus £750 million. There we go. It can go as low as minus 1 billion and as high as plus 1 billion, but if it goes over that, it does bug out. It's a little bit weird. So I think minus 750 million is sort of like the right thing to do. Hopefully it'll prevent things being bugged out sort of thing. Right, transfer budget. Should they have one? Not a chance. No transfer budget at all. Remaining player wage budget. No, you can't have that at all. Sugar daddy, not a chance. And actually, you're also in administration. So there we go. They've got a stadium rental of £4 million a year. That's fine. Keep it like that. But we will get rid of the average match ticket price. All the tickets are zero. All the season tickets are zero. And the number of season ticket holders, zero. So really, they've got no money. Minus £750 million. Also in administration. Other income. Now, this is all the sponsorship stuff. As you can see here, some big numbers. 135 million for kit sponsor. 160 million for stadium sponsor. 218 for commercial income. 225 for other income. It would be a shame if someone just went and removed them all, wouldn't it? Oh dear, we've done it, haven't we? So now they've got no chance of making any easy money back through sponsorship. That's going to be really difficult for them to make money. The other thing as well, now this could be cheating a little bit, but I don't care. It's an experiment. If the clubs did go bankrupt in real life, all the players, they'd leave, wouldn't they? So Aguero, he wouldn't be at Man City anymore. David Silva, he wouldn't be at Man City anymore. So I think what we do as well, we just delete all the players from every single club as well. I think it's we're just helping them out. So it's pretty simple, but that's how we've done it. Man City now are minus £750 million. We'll go through and do it for every single club as well, and then we'll see what happens. So now that we're back in the game, we can click on Man City and using the in-game editor. So the in-game editor is something you have to buy from Steam. It's about £4, but it gives you a lot of power to edit things in-game. So if we click on this little pencil, go to Edit Club Details, we can sort of see what's been going on. So we can see that if we go into Finances, minus 750 million, zero transfer budget, zero wage budget, no sugar daddy. Beautiful. What I think we might do though, just to make things a little bit more interesting, let's get rid of this professional status and make them amateur. Let's make them an amateur club. And you know what? I think while we're here as well, let's just get rid of their reputation. Set it to 1, because reputation is massive in terms of signing players. So if we set it to 1, they have no reputation. As you can see, they've got no players in the squad, as every Premier League squad will have no players. If we go to their club profile now, their reputation is obscure. So actually, I think this could be the way forward. I think what we do is, because I think the reputation, I think big 6 clubs, Man United, Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham and Liverpool, they'll all do really well this season just because of their reputation. So I think what we do is, if we get rid of the reputation from Man City and Man United and Liverpool and Chelsea, We make them obscure like Man City are. We make them amateur clubs as well, but we leave Tottenham and Arsenal as like comparison to see how the top 6 sort of clubs do. That could be quite interesting. So we'll do this for Man City, Man United, Liverpool and Chelsea. So basically what I'm going to do is just go on holiday, just going to simulate a season and we'll see what happens. We'll come back at the end of a season and we'll see what happens. So if you like the idea and you like the video so far, please go and press that subscribe button, which you should have done already because I asked you quite nicely earlier on the video to press that subscribe button. So if you haven't yet done it, press subscribe, hit the bell button, put a like on the video and we are all set to go and see just what happens when we bankrupt the Premier League. So we're back. It's been a year. It's been a season. Let's go straight to the English Premier League. Let us see what has happened out here. Right. On to the league table. Wow. This is meant... What? Man City have finished on 0 points. What? Right. Okay. I thought they'd do badly because we changed their reputation to obscure and we made them an amateur club as well. But I was not expecting 0 points, 0 wins, 0 draws, 38 losses, 5 goals scored, 125 goals conceded. That is absolute. Right, end the episode there. That's what happens when you bankrupt the Premier League. No, I'm joking. Let's carry on. That is absolutely mental, though. Chelsea relegated with them as well, with only 27 points. That's pretty crazy. And then Cardiff also relegated. I'm not quite sure what's more believable, though. Man City finishing 20th, getting relegated, or West Ham United winning the Premier League on 79 points. I don't know what's more believable, what's more ridiculous. It is quite strange. So top 4 then, West Ham win it, but Brighton finish runners-up, Newcastle 3rd, and Tottenham finish 4th with Southampton 5th, and Liverpool finishing 6th, despite us getting rid of everything from them as well. We made them an obscure club, but they've done pretty well. So that really is quite a difference in the 2 clubs, although they're on a level playing field. So who have they brought in player-wise? They've got Izzy Brown. I'm trying to recognise player names here, but I don't really recognise anyone's... In fact, I don't recognise anyone's name apart from Izzy Brown. That's the only player name I recognise, I think, looking at that. Regan Booty, I recognise that name as well. He's also quite a young player out there as well. Huddersfield sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, a lot of these young players have been promoted. Man United have finished mid-table. Arsenal finished 7th. It's been a bit of a crazy one, I've got to say. Man City, like, who have they not signed, basically? I don't recognise it. They've not really made many signings because they're still playing a lot of greyed-out players, so they've not really actually signed many real players. If we look at them, Tim Phelan, right, is he any good? How old is he? He's 15, bless him. Okay, so they've literally I think, actually, if we go to general info, look at player age, most of these players are actually, they're just the regens that have come through, like the youth players that they've brought in, most of them. In fact, all of the real players, apart from these 3, who I don't recognise at all. Lewis McGugan, where did he play before this? Northampton. That's the type of player that Man City have been able to attract. So this is pretty mental. I would not expect this. Man City and Chelsea relegated. I mean, I expected them to get relegated, but not Chelsea on 0 points. I thought Liverpool would do quite badly, but they've done pretty well themselves. And then Arsenal, who we've not affected as badly as Liverpool, for example, finished below them. So it's an interesting season. Just for interest, who got promoted from the Championship? Who got promoted from the Championship? It was Stoke and Aston Villa, and then one of these teams are going up as well. So next season in the Premier League, I actually think Stoke, Aston Villa, and whoever gets promoted from the playoffs will finish in the top 3. Right, I like that. That's pretty interesting. Really interesting, actually. So we're going to go for another season and see what happens, and let's see if we can follow the demise of Chelsea and Man City. Right, another season's gone by. Again, let's have a look at the English Premier League. See what has happened once again. If we look at the table in full, this time it's even more ridiculous because West Ham have won back-to-back Premier League titles. What is that about? All right, it was unbelievable, man. It was unbelievable that they won it last season, but to then win back-to-back titles is even more ridiculous. So West Ham win it again. Stoke, Aston Villa and Leeds finish up that top 4. So the 3 promoted sides from the Championship finish in the top 3. That's interesting. Tottenham finished 5th, getting that Europa League place. And Newcastle finished 6th, also getting the Europa League place. Arsenal, again, missing out on European football, finishing in 7th. Liverpool have dropped down, Man United have dropped down, and Crystal Palace, Everton and Bournemouth are the sides getting relegated this season, but not quite as badly as Man City did on 0 points, Bournemouth on 11 points this season. So who have West Ham got then to be so good? All right, who have they got in their squad? Who's like the highest value player? Kasper Dolberg. All right, fair play. They've somehow managed to get Kasper Dolberg For 23, okay, I'm not sure where West Ham are getting their money from, but 23 million for Kasper Dolberg is actually a bit of a cheap deal, I've got to say. They've got Harvey Barnes. I don't think I've ever heard of him before. Where was he before this? At Barnsley and Leicester. Now has gone to West Ham on a free transfer. So he was there last season. Granit Xhaka's there. Eddie Nikita is there. To be fair, they do have some good players there. I'm not going to lie, they do have some good players. If we look at their transfer history as well, they have been able to sign a good few players, to be fair. I mean, some players and a lot of money as well, which is interesting. I'm not quite sure where they're getting their money from, West Ham. Let's have a look at them in the club, in the in-game editor rather. Facilities, no, we don't want that. Finances. Okay, they've made back a lot of money very quickly. How have they done that? They've got £73 million in the bank. They've really made some money back quickly. They've made nearly £1 billion in 2 years. That's ridiculous. So, okay, no wonder West Ham are doing well. They're making some money somehow. If we look at Man United, for example, as a comparison, how are they doing in terms of money, finances? They're up actually as well. They've got 14 million in the bank. So actually, they've got out of trouble pretty quickly, some of these teams. The issue for United will come is because they're a professional club actually, but only a lot of local reputations. They're now professional again, not amateur, but they have only got a local reputation. That's going to be tough for them. So yeah, another interesting season in the Premier League. Let's drop down to the Championship and see how the relegated clubs from last season did. Oh, no way. I did not expect this at all. I thought they'd actually bounce back. But Chelsea, Man City and Cardiff, back-to-back relegations. I mean, Chelsea only just relegated, but Man City and Cardiff, they have been convincingly relegated. I'm loving this. I'm loving seeing these teams drop down and things like that. Norwich, Millwall and either Blackburn and Bristol City promoted next season, which is going to be interesting. Again, I think the promoted side will do very well and sort of fill out that sort of top four position sort of thing, apart from West Ham, who are probably going to do quite well again. But again, let's look at the Man City squad. Have they actually signed anyone that I know yet? Carl Piergrini, I feel like I know him. Because he played for Salford. So, yeah, what a step up that is in Boston before that and things like that. I did recognise that name. Who else have they got? No one that I know, really, I've got to say. They have actually got real players now this season, which is interesting. That's something good. Zach Steffen is their most valuable player. He's recently played at Columbus Crew. Okay. What about the Chelsea squad? Chelsea, how are they getting on with their squad? They've got, again, no one that I really recognise in terms of names at all. I do recognise Luke McGee. Was he at Luton or something? No, Portsmouth. I recognise him then. Other than that, no players that I recognise at Chelsea either. Transfer history, are they spending money at all on players? Only £2 million. Well, £2 million is still quite a lot of money, but to be fair, it's nothing like West Ham are spending. So another pretty mental season. We'll have to check out League One next season to see how these three clubs get on. So let's do it again. Another season. Right, another season gone by. Let's have another look for the English Premier League. Let's see what's happened again this time. If we go to the stages, I can't believe it. West Ham have won 3 Premier League titles in a row. 3. West Ham. 3 Premier League. They're absolutely loving this. So if the Premier League does go bankrupt, West Ham fans, this is going to be incredible for you. Arsenal and Tottenham finished 2nd and 3rd in the Champions League places. Now, as you can see, only 3 teams in the Champions League. So it must mean that in Europe, the English teams are doing really badly to the point where UEFA are limiting the amount of places in the Champions League because they don't warrant it. The Premier League, it's not good enough anymore. So that's very interesting. Brighton and Villa make up the 4th and 5th and Europa League spots, with Leeds, Stoke, Norwich and Millwall finishing in the top 9. Southampton in 10th. Wow! Liverpool and Man United have been relegated. So it's been a bit of a slow one for them because we saw Chelsea and we saw Man City relegated in the first 2 seasons. Liverpool and Man United now finally relegated. They can't hack it with their really small reputation. They just can't sign the players, clearly. Watford also gone down as well. That's a very interesting season. Liverpool have had a real big demise then because they were looking quite good in that first season, I've got to say. But if we look at their transfer history, to be fair, they've signed £8 million worth of player this season, but they've just clearly not been good enough. Although it's not like they're buying players from like Real Madrid or Juventus or Bayern Munich. They are buying players from Preston and Aston Villa. So it's a bit different. I really did not expect that to happen at all. Not at all. So let's drop down to the Championship and see how the teams who got relegated last season got on. Bournemouth and Palace both relegated, so that's 5 teams now relegated from the Championship. Everton, they finished 16th, so they've been all right. They've sort of stabilised a little bit in the Championship, but Palace and Bournemouth going down again. That's pretty interesting. Let's go to League One and see how City, Chelsea and Cardiff have got on. Oh, I don't actually believe it. I actually don't believe it. Man City relegated again. 41 points this time. Only just relegated. They're only just bottom of the table. Relegated very convincingly. Alongside Cardiff, who have also been relegated. Chelsea finished 7th, which is one place outside the playoffs. Lincoln City beating Chelsea to the playoffs. That's very good for me because I'm a Lincoln City fan, so I'm very pleased with that. Shame they didn't win the playoffs, but at least they beat Chelsea in the league, so that's good. But I can't believe City down again. Again. I mean, what are they doing? All right, let's have a look at their club details. If we look at their finances, they've got money. They've got a lot of money. All right, an awful lot of money. It will just be this reputation that's been built back up to nearly 3,000 now. But if we compare that reputation with Lincoln City, for example, let's use them as a comparison. Edit club details. Their reputation is nearly 4,500. So they're a more reputable club than Man City at the moment. So Man City really, really struggling. I think they'll stabilise in League Two. I don't think they'll drop to non-league. But it would be quite funny if they did. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to go 5 seasons in the future this time, all right? 5 seasons. We'll see what's happened and then we'll end the episode there. So we've gone 5 seasons in the future now. We're now in 2025, so quite a long time has passed. What we'll do is we'll analyse certain things. So Man City needs to be looked at. West Ham needs to be looked at. We'll look at a few things. We'll go straight into the Premier League though. So if we look at the previous winners then, over the past few seasons, West Ham won their 3 in a row, and then Stoke won 1, Arsenal won 1, and then Tottenham won the previous 2. I thought we went 5 years in the future, though. Clearly not. I've only gone 4 years in the future. But I've gone to 2025. So only 4 seasons. That's all right. It's not too much of a big deal. 4 seasons in the future. Stoke, Arsenal, Tottenham and Tottenham. Pretty decent. Arsenal finished runners-up. Brighton again finishing runners-up again. And Leeds been up there as well. So Brighton actually a very decent side. West Ham, though, not finished in the top 3 recently. So what's happened to them? They finished 4th this season. They dropped down to 11th. And then 8th, and now 4th this season, so that's okay. So the first season that we simulated since last time we were here, Stoke won that Premier League title, and there was actually Bristol, Sheffield United and Fulham to get relegated. So Fulham were a Premier League side at the start of this, but Sheffield and Bristol relegated. So maybe the Premier League sides that have survived this far aren't going to get relegated anymore. It's going to be those Championship sides that are going to get relegated. The season after that, that was when Arsenal won it, and Huddersfield, Preston and Burnley this time getting relegated. So what I just said about Premier League sides that have survived this far not getting relegated anymore, that was a load of rubbish as Burnley and Huddersfield go down. But some decent Championship sides getting in to the European places, which is pretty interesting, I've got to say. Wolves have always been really, really mid-table, Wolves. Despite everything, they've been properly mid-table consistently throughout this experiment. The season after, Arsenal win it, Tottenham win it for the first time. Arsenal got on to 5th, actually, which is quite interesting, with Swansea, Everton back in the Premier League then. How did their sort of journey go recently? They were relegated, sort of stabilised in the Championship, then got promoted 2nd in the table, but then relegated straight away again. So that's a bit of a bad one. Leicester just avoiding the drop there as well, so that's pretty interesting. Wolves finishing as high as 7th place as well. West Ham down to 8th that season. And then the season we've just had, with Tottenham winning it for the 2nd time in a row, Watford, Leicester and Burnley all relegated. So Burnley must have come bouncing back up. Watford have been down before as well. How have Watford got on recently? They were relegated but then finished in the playoffs twice in a row before finishing 2nd and promoted. So pretty good stuff for Watford. And a few more clubs surviving there as well. So what we haven't seen is Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool or Man United get back to the Premier League. So let's go through them one at a time and see what's happened. So Man United then, how have they got on? They were relegated, of course, last time. And then So Man United were relegated last time. And in the 4 seasons that have gone by, they've stayed in the Championship, finishing 16th, 19th, 9th. And then this past season, 16th, as you can see. So it's not the best for them, but at least they've not done as bad as Man City. Liverpool have had relegations, to be fair, a few relegations. So they were relegated from the Premier League, then relegated again from the Championship to League One, promoted from League One the first time of asking, finishing top of the table, as you can see. And then they finished 23rd in the Championship again, and this season finished 9th in League One. So they've had a bit of a tough time, and they've stabilised a little bit at a League One level. So that's an interesting one as well. Chelsea are also a League One club. Chelsea, obviously, we saw them drop down twice in a row. Go into League One, finished 7th. Then we're 8th. Then dropped down to 17th. Then we're 9th. And then this past season, they finished 4th in League One. Have they played in the playoffs yet, or are they not promoted yet? They lost in the playoff final to MK Dons, so another season in League One for them. But at least Chelsea are now starting to recover. Quick look at the League One table as well. Cardiff have sort of stabilised in League One. So Cardiff, Chelsea and Liverpool all in League One now. No other Premier League sides there, but Lincoln City have been relegated, which is a real shame. You hate to see that. Come on, Lincoln, better than that, please. What that means is Manchester City. What has happened to them? This could be quite bad. Man City are currently 6th in League 2, 3 relegations in a row, have stabilised at League 2 level, finishing 11th, 7th, 9th, and now 6th. So they are in the playoffs. Have they won the playoffs, though? That's going to be the interesting thing to find out. How have they got on there? They weren't in the playoff final, so if we look at the playoff semi-final, they lost it to Crewe 3-2 on aggregate. So that'll hurt for Man City fans. Really, really bad time for Man City. Look at their players, right. The most valuable players are the ones they've got on loans. They've really got no one that I know at all. CJ Hamilton, I recognise that name. Why do I recognise that name? It's because he plays for Mansfield in real life. That's why I recognise it. But Man City having a real tough time of things. How's their reputation? They're nearly what Lincoln City were when we first checked them out last time round. So that was interesting. Finances, though, they've got a lot of money. That's £253 million in the bank. Like, surely with that kind of money, reputation can't matter. Surely. That's so much money that they've got. If we look at their contracts, can we not see how much they're being... Oh, we can see how much they're being paid per week. They've got players in League 2 on £22,000 per week. What is that about? That's crazy. Elliot Moore, is he any good? I've never heard of him before in my entire life. Because he's always been he's been a youth player at Leicester and on loan at Doncaster and things like that. But £22,000 per week to play in League 2... that is crazy. Actually, I can't believe it. I've really enjoyed this experiment. It's been so interesting, completely different to what we normally do as well. We could probably do an awful lot more with this, but I can't talk forever. Time's running out in today's episode. So, I think we might do another one. Leave a like on the video if you want to see another one. Comment down below as well if you want to see another one and what you want to see in the next one as well. We should probably look at European football at some point as well, but comment below what you want to see if we do another episode. Let me know if you enjoyed it as well. That'd be another thing. If you don't enjoy this episode at all, let me know. We won't do another one, but let me know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video. That'll tell me if you liked it or not. We could be onto something here. We could make English football so much more competitive and interesting if we just bankrupt every single Premier League club. That would be good, wouldn't it? Well, actually, it wouldn't be very good at all because we'd lose a lot of good players. We wouldn't become the best league in the world. Maybe let's not bankrupt clubs in real life, but it's fun to do in Football Manager at least. It's fun to do in Football Manager and theoretically see what happens. So if you've enjoyed today's video, please do stick around for more. There's going to be a subscribe button in the middle of the screen round about now, and then I'm going to give you a choice. You can either watch another experiment video, or you can get on board the Lincoln Loco 2, where we're taking Lincoln United from step 8 of the English Football League system and taking them all the way to the Champions League. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.